Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It is September. It's not September. I need a little bit more sleep. It's November the 22nd. And we got some few short stories for you today. Of course, it's Friday. It's the freaking weekend. So I hope everybody's ready to have a great kickoff to what seems to be a pretty spectacular weekend for the movie theaters this week. Of course, we got we got Wicked, we got Gladiator, we got a few other things. But before we dive into that, I'm just going to go ahead and take a real quick sip of my coffee. Remember this cup? This cup is really great. You can get that cup in the shop. Should I launch a new cup that says you can get this cup in the shop? Let me know, because I may do it. As you can tell, I'm not actually live this morning. I'm doing a live recording that will go up live. But yeah, the kiddos, the school is closed today where we live because of snow. And so I'm trying to knock this out before all the kids get up and, make it impossible to do this. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So opening up this weekend, we got Wicked finally releasing. Very excited. Of course, this is Wicked Part 1, which they're not really saying from what I can tell. But yeah, I got the tomato meter pulled up here. It's showing that it's at a 90% with 217 reviews. And the popcorn meter, that's the aggregate for the audience scores, that's 98%. Now, of course, Rotten Tomatoes take it all with a grain of salt. It just aggregates, people's reviews and stuff and kind of spits out its own algorithmic score. But typically, when they're super high, that means that the movie is probably really good. And when they're super low, that means the movie is probably terrible. It's usually when it's between like the 40s and 70s that you gotta kind of be like, it could still be good. It just depends on if you're the person that you want to watch it. But yeah, Wicked is opening up this weekend. It's PG, and it's 2 hours and 40 minutes long. We're planning on taking our daughter to watch it, and I did not realize this is a 3-hour long movie, and I'm rethinking just everything right now. What to know? Here's what critics are saying. Defying gravity with its magical pairing of Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Wicked sheer bravura and charm make for an irresistible invitation to Oz. Audience says, fly, do not run to see Wicked, a bewitching musical experience chanted by spellbinding cast. So there you go. After Agatha All Along, I'm just in a very bewitching mood. That was terrible, I'm sorry. I would cut that out, but I want this to be like the live. So all the terrible jokes and everything, I'm just going to keep them in. And it's definitely for that reason and not because I'm too lazy to edit this later. Certainly. But Wicked is not the only movie coming out this weekend. We've also got Gladiator 2 releases in theaters. Of course, Gladiator 2, rated R, 2 hours and 28 minutes. So shockingly, Wicked is longer than Gladiator 2. And it's just now hitting me. Wicked is 3 hours long, and it's just part 1. So what's it going to be like when both parts are out? It's going to be crazy. Gladiator 2 is currently sitting at a 71% on Rotten Tomatoes with 238 reviews. The critics' consensus is echoing its predecessor while upping the blood sport and camp. Gladiator 2 is an action extravaganza that derives much of its strength and honor from Denzel Washington's scene-stealing performance. I think I've said it earlier this week. I'm just not super down to watch this. I'm sure it'll probably be fun, and maybe I'll watch it when it hits streaming or something. But yeah, I doubt I'll make it to the theater for it. I like the first Gladiator. And who knows? I'm probably wrong. I bet this one's actually phenomenal. So, what are you gonna do? Let me know, though, in the comments, in the chat, if you plan on watching either Gladiator 2 or Wicked this weekend, which one you're most excited to go see. And by the way, I didn't skip the popcorn meter. There is not one released yet. So, there's that. But that is not the only things that are coming out this week. We also have a couple of streaming premieres. So, one of them actually already hit last night on the 21st on Hulu. You can now watch Alien Romulus. That's right. Ironically, we talked about Alien Romulus yesterday, but I did not realize it was going to be on Hulu literally yesterday. So please, if you have not watched this, watch it. It's so good. It's so good. It's definitely in my top 4 favorite Alien movies, if not even higher than that. I'm just gonna leave it at that because I don't want to commit to anything I'm not ready to commit to. And then on Netflix today, actually dropping today, is the movie Spellbound. This is a CG animated film. I forget who all's a part of it, but it says when a powerful spell turns her parents into giant monsters, a teenage princess must journey into the wild to reverse the curse before it's too late. Normally these Netflix animated movies I'm not jonesing for. But this one's apparently, I think, unfortunately, John Lasseter was involved. Obviously he worked for Pixar. It turns out he's kind of a super big creep, apparently. But I think some of the voice actors and stuff involved, it's I'd say it's on the same tier of expectations as a DreamWorks film. The Sony animation or almost Illumination, I would say. Maybe not that good. But yeah. Spellbound. I don't know. May end up watching this with the kids. Who knows? Who knows what we're gonna do? But let me know which one of those you're planning on watching. Or if neither. Or if you're watching something totally different that I've not even brought up. Let me know that. I'm always down for some interesting recommendations. So I would appreciate any that you want to send my way. Thank you. Lastly with the box office here, we got just a little story here. This is from Hollywood Reporter, Pamela McClintock. So this is kind of touching on the state of the box office for the Thanksgiving holiday week. So Hollywood cooking up record-breaking Thanksgiving feast with Moana 2, which opens next week, by the way, which is crazy. With Moana 2, Wicked, and Gladiator 2 on the table, domestic revenue for the 5-day holiday corridor is expected to hit an all-time high north of $300 million. That's a lot of money. With Moana 2 and Wicked and Gladiator 2 on the table, domestic revenue for the 5-day holiday corridor is expected to hit an all-time high north of $300 million. As Ridley Scott and his high-profile Gladiator 2 cast, including Denzel Washington, Paul Mescal, and Connie Nielsen, walked the red carpet during the November 18th Los Angeles premiere, a makeshift wall prevented them from seeing an enormous Christmas tree perched at the entrance of the Hollywood Mall adjacent to the TCL Chinese Theater. Considered a symbol of Christmas coming early this year for all Hollywood, as November tentpoles Gladiator 2, the musical Wicked, and the animated juggernaut Moana 2 hit the big screen timed to Turkey Day. Gobble gobble. For the first time in a long time, there will be something for everyone at movie theaters this Thanksgiving, notes one top studio executive. When there are great choices, the business hums. By all accounts, the 3 films are expected to fuel the biggest Thanksgiving weekend in history in terms of overall revenue, a rare bright spot in the post-pandemic era. The boost will help narrow a worrisome year-over-year gap in domestic box office earnings due to a lack of product resulting from the lengthy 2023 labor strikes and ongoing COVID-related delays. Thanksgiving 2018 currently holds the record for generating the most revenue in terms of overall ticket sales for the 5-day holiday, which runs from the Wednesday before the holiday through Sunday, according to ComScore. That year led by Ralph Breaks the Internet, Creed 2, and Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Jeez. Making 84.7, 56 million, and 42.3 million, respectively. Revenue reached 315.6 million over the 5 days. The only time it's cracked 300 million, according to Comscore. Get ready for that record to be broken. Walt Disney's animation music-infused adventure Moana 2 lands Wednesday, November 27th, and is tracking to open to a massive 125 million to 150 million for the first 5 days, something it could climb even higher. Hence the moniker Moana Apocalypse. I've not heard anyone say that. If tracking proves correct, Moana 2 will score a top 5-day Thanksgiving debut domestically and the biggest 5-day Thanksgiving gross of all time, not adjusting for inflation. Frozen 2, which opened the weekend before the holiday as opposed to midweek, holds the record for 125 million in ticket sales. The first Moana opened to 82 million over the first 5-day Thanksgiving holiday in 2016, on its way to becoming a cult classic to the point that it was the most streamed film in 2023. Wow, I did not realize that. Universal's Wicked, based on the smash hit Broadway play, is likewise looking to sing and dance its way to eye-popping numbers like Gladiator 2. It will debut November 22nd to get a jump on the holiday and provide some distance from the Moana sequel. The John M. Chu directed film is tracking to open with 85 million. Again, exhibitors think it could come in higher, perhaps north of 100 million. I feel like, I could be totally wrong here, I feel like Wicked's gonna be massive. Like, I don't know if it'll do Barbie numbers, but it could. The fact that it's 3 hours, well, I mean, that could hurt it a little bit. Just because, less showings that they can get in. But, I mean, it's going to be huge. And I can't freaking wait. They dropped the album today, by the way. If you're listening to this on Friday, you can now stream the soundtrack to Wicked. So, I've heard it's going to be popular. It's going to be popular. Ridley Scott's Gladiator 2 from Paramount also appears to be in the fighting form, culminating with Paramount dropping the final trailer simultaneously across various platforms, reaching 300 million viewers globally. Opening a quarter of a century after the original Gladiator won the Oscar for Best Picture, it's tracking to debut with $65 million or more during the weekend. Between the two live-action crowd pleasers, box office pundits are hoping for a Wicketor or Glicked phenom like Can we stop? Alright, Barbenheimer was a one-time thing. Alright, it was great, we all loved it, but just because two movies open on the same weekend doesn't mean it's the next Barbenheimer. Alright, Jesus. I can tell you, I don't know, there's several weekends in the summer where two movies open and they just are, everybody's like, yeah, it'll be a big weekend, Movies opening the weekend before Thanksgiving rather than midweek on Wednesday can often come close to repeating their opening number during the official 5-day holiday weekend, if they click, that is, explaining why most are betting an overall revenue besting the 2018 Thanksgiving number. It might seem counterintuitive to open three tentpoles so closely together, but it's proved again and again that for certain times of the year, whether summer or the end of the year holidays, the marketplace can support multiple titles if they feed their target demos. And then it just talks about some other stuff. Adds a rival executive. Movies can work simultaneously, and this will be record Thanksgiving. Record or not, Thanksgiving can't close the year-over-year gap in box office revenue. And then it just kind of gets sad from there, talking about loss in box office. So, what do you think? Are we looking at a huge event? Will this be the next Glicked? That doesn't sound good. Let me know. Is this gonna be a massive success? Is this whole thing gonna be huge? Let me know in the comments. Or am I overhyping it in my brain? Let me know. Man, what a great cup. It's so good, You can get it on the shop. Alright, everybody. That's it. This is our first Friday show of this new movie mornings, and there was literally no news yesterday. There was nothing. There's some Black Friday sales, so definitely be sure and go hit those up. Amazon has their Black Fridays deals going on. If you don't have Prime, remember in the description and the show notes for this episode, you can click on the link and get a free 30-day trial of Prom. That way you don't have to pay for Prom and the Black Friday deals. You can just do that, and it also helps support the channel. So, appreciate it. Everybody, I hope you have a wonderful Friday. I hope you have a great weekend this weekend. It might be a cold one where you are. Might be a hot one where you are. Who knows? But whatever it's going to be, I hope you enjoy yourself, find some time to do something fun, maybe watch a movie or two, and then we'll all come back together on Monday and discuss whatever movie news, if any, has happened over the weekend. But that's going to wrap it up for me today. Thank you for joining us for our inaugural week of the Hopefully Awesome Movie Mornings show, podcast, wherever you get it. I appreciate you all for sticking it out. And yeah, I think we're starting to get all the tech bugs worked out. Knock on wood. So we'll see how it goes. But that's going to wrap it up for us, everybody. Thanks for watching. And as always, have a hopefully awesome day.